Hi. So I just wanted to remind everyone with the New Year, New Me stuff going on that talking about Noom, things that market themselves as an anti-diet, as a psychological approach, as whatever, are still a diet if the goal is weight loss. Does that mean that I am shaming people for going on diets? No. Fuck no. If you think that this message is about shaming someone, shaming you if you want to go on a diet or you want to lose weight, then that's a misinterpretation of my message. What I am saying is that these marketing tactics and these tricks, like diet culture uses things that are popular. Right now, what's gaining momentum is the anti-diet movement because so many people are realizing, oh, I'm not the problem. I'm not the reason that I've spent years, if not decades, on and off diets, failing diets, right? Like, I'm not the problem, it's the diets. So the anti-diet movement has come along and said, hey, you're not the problem, like diets don't work, genuinely. And so then these diet companies like Noom tries to be like, but we're not a diet, we're about changing your patterns, changing your behaviors. Now here's the thing, the pursuit of weight loss sets you up for this on and off kind of lifestyle, right? It sets you up for, I'm gonna be really good, I'm gonna try to lose weight, and then what happens, like you end up falling off or something goes wrong, or maybe your body just resists weight loss, especially if you've been dieting for a long time. That's very distinctly possible that your body is going to like aggressively resist any sort of attempts at weight loss because, believe it or not, dieting is a form of trauma on the body. You're restricting your body of the nutrients that it needs, and that is traumatic for the body. That's traumatic for the physical body. So dieting, if you have a long history of dieting, you may realize that, every time you go on a diet, every time you even think about going on a diet, it's like more exhausting. Your body like shuts down, it freaks out about it. And that is a sign that your body just does not want to be doing this anymore, okay? So then something like Noom comes along. And what's interesting is that when you start signing up for Noom's program, they have this like little graph that shows, oh, so every other diet goes down and then they gain the weight back. But Noom, the weight loses and they keep it off. And like, look how Noom is different and all this stuff. Well, in the bottom, there's a little asterisk that said, people tend to, in a 2016 study, people who use Noom kept it off after 9 months. Well, they do that in every other weight loss study too. We're not talking 9 months. Weight loss studies that show that diets don't work are weight loss studies that are 2 years or longer. The regain starts to happen at year 1, not at 9 months, not at 6 months. So Noom is intentionally withholding this information because I guarantee it's not because they don't have the information. They have the information. They're withholding this information and making you believe what you want to believe in order to sign up for it. Don't fall for it. Honestly, like it will keep you on this roller coaster. It will not get you to where you want to be, which is like happy and free and all these other things that diet culture sells along with weight loss, right? Like you're gonna be confident, you're gonna be successful, you're gonna be happy, you're gonna, blah, blah, blah. Like you're gonna have this perfect healthy lifestyle, like you've never felt better, all this stuff. Yeah, at the beginning, you probably will feel really good because there's that honeymoon phase of a diet where you do feel really good. And you're like, oh my God, I'm doing it, I'm eating so clean, da, da, da. But then you're back to the same thing. You're back to the same pattern. And it's not you, it's not a you thing. It's not this saying of like, oh, well, I should just try harder or be better. No, it's that your body is like restricting this your body is rejecting this mentality and rejecting restriction, like chronic restriction. It's just not good for you. Like you should not be underfed. That's kind of the whole thing. Like most of the world, not most of the world, but a large percentage of the world is like, we're trying to figure out how people cannot be underfed. And yet in America and, spreading, we're all about like, how can you just eat less? Like just eat less, like just stop eating so much because it's too much. Like no, eat the fucking food, enjoy yourself, like work on your self-care. If you want to eat more vegetables, if you want to have a healthy relationship with exercise, if you want to have a healthy relationship with health just in general, get your mind right first. Like work on the mental health component of, I am here to start with food freedom. Whatever that looks like, because it's gonna look messy at the beginning. It's unconditional permission's messy. I have a lot of information about that in my Instagram highlights. Start with the food freedom part and then be like, this is in a long-term service of my goals, which is to have a balanced relationship with this stuff. Because when it's tied to dieting, you're not going to be able to find a diet or a lifestyle or a psychological approach that is going to break that tie. You just have to reject dieting altogether. And it will benefit you so much. Like it'll so much. It's so good. Like, oh my gosh. My clients literally lead like different lives and feel like different people, more authentic, grounded versions of themselves when they're done working with me, because your relationship with food, if it's really volatile and up and down, is having that much of an effect on every single part of your life. So do yourself a favor, don't fall for any of that stuff. Get some help with healing your relationship with food. If you want to like learn the basics of food freedom, you're ready to just do this, I have a ton of information on my website. I have my podcast. I have Club 2IB, which is my membership site. I have a $49 course, literally only $49, that will teach you everything you need to know to get started with food freedom. It's called the 5 Pillars of Food Freedom. So I have a lot of stuff available to you. If that's something that you're looking for, like, it's here. Let me help you. Like, this is so important because we need you. We need you. I say this all the time, but literally, like, you chronically and constantly thinking about food and your body and what you look like and restricting and making yourself smaller and all this stuff is only getting in the way of you doing really important work with your life, you making an impact on the people around you, you showing up as a friend or as a family member or as a spouse or as a, loved one. You can't show up for other people when you're constantly distracted and when you're constantly like thinking about yourself and wondering what people are thinking about you. This process of food freedom is so much more than just quitting dieting. This process of food freedom is like literally taking your life back and settling into who you really are. Rejecting the notion that you need to be smaller in order to be worthy, or you need to be smaller in order to be valuable, or whatever. You are worthy because you exist. And you have so much to offer the world. So let's stop shrinking ourselves and making ourselves smaller. Let's take up more space. I want to help you. Yeah, that's my like rant of the day. Let me know in the comments what questions you have, and yeah.